Wellington, Florida. Wellington, Florida? Who's heard of Wellington, Florida? Well, for sure, if you're a horse rider or equestrian, you'll know about Wellington, Florida. Other people might say, well, isn't it just a bedroom community stuck out between the Everglades and West Palm Beach? Isn't it full of alligators and mosquitoes? Well, sometimes in the summer months it feels like that, but the rest of the time, it is the winter equestrian capital of the world. It's where I live, and I'm going to tell you more about it. Hi, my name is Kirsten Kopp and I live in Wellington, Florida. I'm an equestrian. I'm also a pilot and I'm a real estate agent, and I specialize in the Wellington equestrian sector. So I'm surrounded by horses and barns all day. I absolutely love living here, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it. And if you like what you hear and you want to know more, please hit subscribe. I think it's down there, and the little bell, and then you'll be alerted when I have a new video. But anyway, back to Wellington. How on earth did Wellington get from a sleepy, alligator, mosquito-filled little town in South Florida to being one of the winter equestrian capitals of the world? Well, it all started, give you a little bit of history, not too much, just a little bit, with a man called Charles Wellington. Now, Charles Wellington was a successful New York accountant, but he bought thousands and thousands of what was then in the 50s swampland. Soon after, the Acme Development District was formed, primarily to drain this land for agricultural reasons. And over the management of a man called Bink Glisson, this was done. So when the land was drained, pre-Wellington was a whole bunch of strawberry fields. Now, after that, unfortunately, Charles Wellington died. A lot of taxes were incurred, so money had to be raised to pay those taxes, and thus houses were started to be built. But really, Wellington didn't come into effect until about the 70s, when an acre of land could be bought for about $800. Cut to the 1990s, and now Wellington has a small smattering of homes on it and some dedicated residents who all got together and created the Wellington municipality. And thus, Wellington was born in the 1990s. So we haven't been around for long. And he had some wealthy friends, and they brought polo to this community. I guess they cleared a couple of strawberry fields, so the rumors go, and started playing polo. Well, in 50 years, there are now 60 polo fields in Wellington. Now, if you think each polo field is about 10 acres, that's 600 acres here just for polo fields. Not long after that came jumping and also most recently dressage. But someone at some point had this genius idea to create this equestrian master plan in Wellington, which gave special rules that you couldn't build up and have denser development in a big chunk of equestrian Wellington. This is now called the EOZD. So if you want to sound like you know what you're talking about when it comes to the Wellington equestrian developments, you say the EOZD. And all that stands for is the Equestrian Overlay Zoning District. And that gives us what is just such beautiful vistas of horse paddocks and fields and these beautiful barns, much, much more different than any other suburban Wellington community. And in fact, we were the first that did that in the whole country, and Ocala followed at some point or other. Anyway, back to Wellington. So we have now amazing winter months. The season seems to be getting longer and longer every year. So right now, the season starts at about November and ends in May. And during that time, we have thousands and thousands of horses and riders come in to compete in the best competitions in the world in jumping and also dressage and polo. We have some incredible equestrian venues. They think the Florida International University did a study that showed that about 20,000 horses and riders come into the community. That's 20,000 riders, about 7,000 to 8,000 horses, they think. How do they know? Somebody somehow measured the manure and came up with the fact that there must be about 8,000 horses that come into the community. I don't know how they measured the manure. So let's talk about these horses for a while. We know they're beautiful. We also know, if you know, that they're very expensive. How expensive? Well, a top equine athlete can go from anywhere from $100,000 up. Some are well over $1 million. So obviously you're not talking about keeping these very expensive animals in just what you could imagine would be like a cow barn or something. You build a palace for your horses. And here in Wellington, we have the most beautiful examples of equestrian estates. These beautiful barns start from a couple of millions up until, well, you just name it. But I'm going to be showing you some. And I'm going to be showing you a lot about Wellington Equestrian Village, as we like to call it, and what I love about it. And I hope that if you like what you hear, you will hit the subscribe button down below and the little bell so that you can be alerted when I post a new video. I'm Kirsten Kopp. Thank you for watching.